30 minutes passed and finally the class ended. The students started to panic because many of them hadn't finished answering the quiz made by Jungkook. Alright, now collect all the answer sheets. The students became even more panicked because they didn't expect this to happen. But then, Park Yin, collect all your classmates' answer sheets and then deliver them to my office. After saying that, Jungkook left the classroom, leaving Yin stunned. Why do I have to be the one to deliver these answer sheets to his office? Isn't it usually him who brings them himself? What does he want from me? Damn. Yin finally stood up and walked to the front of the class. Hi everyone, let's quickly collect all your answer sheets so I can take them to the office of that crazy professor. Upon hearing what Yin said, all her classmates laughed. Did you just call him crazy? But you used to be his favorite student. Not anymore. What's up with you today, Yin? Why were you sitting at the back? Nothing. I just wanted a change of scenery. Yin walked alone, holding the answer sheets from her classmates in frustration, her face looking visibly tense. She truly wanted to ignore her professor at the moment, but why did he ask her to come to his office? Yin had planned to distance herself from him, but why did he insist on her meeting him? But her heart was strong this time. She was determined to move on from the man who had broken her heart. She no longer wanted to cry over him. Her tears were too precious to shed for him. Finally, Yin arrived at the door she actually wanted to avoid. With reluctance, she knocked on the door. Come in. Yin composed herself, even closing her eyes briefly before straightening her posture. She couldn't afford to appear weak in front of him. After gathering her strength, she opened the door and stepped inside. After entering, Yin closed the door behind her and saw Jungkook standing in front of his desk, leaning slightly against it. Seeing his posture, she furrowed her brows. This wasn't like the usual Jungkook. However, Yin didn't care and approached him immediately, wanting to hand him the papers so she could leave this room as soon as possible. These are all the answer sheets from my classmates, sir. Jungkook straightened up immediately, staring at her with an intense gaze. Alright, please organize all these papers alphabetically by your classmates' names. Hearing his command, she became confused again. Why would he ask her to do that? Shouldn't he just need to check the answers without arranging the papers alphabetically by name? Yin felt truly bothered this time. She looked straight at him, who seemed to be smirking. Seriously? Now Yin understood that Jungkook was playing with her. I'm sorry, sir, but earlier you just asked me to come and deliver these papers, didn't you? Why are you now giving me another task to do? Jungkook was quite surprised by her bold response. It seemed like Yin was showing her true colors now, no longer the polite Yin in front of him. So this is how you really are. What do you mean? Do you know the difference in our positions right now? I am your professor and you are my student. I know. That's why I'm protesting. If I do what you're asking for now, it will take more time because I have to arrange these papers again, and it's not appropriate for us to be alone in your office like this. We are alone in my office and I'm giving you a task. And the task you're giving me has nothing to do with my status as a student. I'm not here to learn or be guided in lessons by you, but to organize these papers? Seriously? Then do it not as your status as a student, but as yourself, as Yin. I don't understand your point, and I'm getting more confused, sorry sir. It seems better for me to leave now. Yin finally turned her body and walked quickly towards the door, opening it, but as the door was slightly ajar, Jungkook quickly pushed it back and closed it forcefully. Of course, his actions surprised her. What's wrong with her, professor? With nervousness, Yin looked at him, who was now staring at her sharply and intensely. This wasn't the Jungkook she knew all this time. Honestly, Yin was getting more nervous in front of this man. Yin, you misunderstood. What you saw is not what you think. Lisa and I. Stop, sir. That's none of my business. It's your personal matter. Please listen to me first. I won't let you leave my office until we straighten out all these misunderstandings. Jungkook quickly locked the door of his office from the inside and put the key in his pocket. Yin was truly stunned. It seemed like Jungkook was really going crazy at the moment. Sir, I'm sorry, but you can't lock me in your office like this. You won't leave until we finish talking. Now, sit down over there. Jungkook walked over to his chair and gestured for Yin to sit in front of his desk. Yin was still in shock and couldn't believe what was happening. Yin, please sit down. I don't want this misunderstanding to continue. Reluctantly, Yin sat down in front of his desk. I actually think you don't need to explain anything about your personal matters to me. Lisa is my stepsister, and when you saw her giving me lunch that time, it was because I forgot the lunch prepared by our mother. So our mother asked her to give it to me. Lisa is your stepsister? Yes, we actually live in the same house, so you don't need to be jealous of her anymore. Who's jealous of her? Honestly, I don't care about you anymore. Deep down, Yin actually felt calm hearing what he revealed to her, but for some reason, Her ego was high at the moment. Just a few days ago, she was really disappointed by him, and it seemed like her heart was still a little irritated. Yin is a typical girl who is actually quite proud and a little arrogant. She has been trying to suppress her ego to get closer to him. But when she was disappointed by her jealousy, her ego, which was already high, soared even higher. A small smirk appeared on Yin's lips. Alright, let's play now. You must know that I've been in love with you, Jungkook. Now, what are you going to do about it? Yin, you can't pretend anymore in front of me, can you? I know you actually have feelings for me, don't you? That's why you wanted to give me lunch. When I rejected your lunch, it wasn't because I rejected your feelings. What do you mean, sir? Actually, I've also liked you all this time. But you must know the risks if we both date. Yes, I know the risks. And now I'm not interested in you anymore. Is it that easy for your feelings to change? Just because I rejected your gift once, you're so quick to change like this? I don't know, but I'm still angry with you right now. So sir, let me out now, or someone might get suspicious. And as you're worried, something bad might happen after this. Just let it be. I don't care anymore. Even if I get fired after this, I don't care. Besides, my main income doesn't come from being a lecturer here. Whether I remain a lecturer here or not doesn't really affect my life. Who are you really, Jungkook? Nevertheless, it doesn't mean you can trap me here. I want to leave now. I apologize to you, Yin, and the misunderstanding between us has been cleared up. So what else is making you upset? Actually, I can't stand it when you ignore me. Please give me some time. This all happened so suddenly. I feel like I haven't processed everything that's happening right now. My feelings are also uncertain. I need to make sure whether I still like you or not. Alright, I respect your decision now. But just so you know, I won't give up. Are you sure you're not afraid of getting fired? This relationship is risky for your career. I already explained earlier. I'm not afraid. And actually, my career isn't only here. My main income doesn't come from my salary as a lecturer. I really don't know who you are and what your background is. But right now, I just want to calm my mind. So, can you please let me out of here? Alright then. Jungkook finally gets up from his seat and walks towards the door, unlocking it so it's no longer locked. Seeing this, Yin immediately stand up and head to the door. Alright, I'll leave now, excuse me. Before she could step out, her hand is suddenly held by him. She's surprised and her heart races feeling his touch on her hand. I'm sorry, I hope you'll still give me a chance after this. I'll think about it first. I'm sorry. Sure, I understand. I'll wait for you. Because actually, I've been waiting for you all this time. Waiting for me? Yes, I've been waiting for you. At least until you graduate. That's what I've been doing all this time. But now, it seems I don't need to wait for you to graduate anymore. That's why I want to tell you. Alright then, I'll excuse myself now. He nods with a gentle smile. Then he releases his grip on her hand and lets her leave his office. After Yin leaves, Jungkook sits back on his chair. He leans his head back and massages his temples. One day earlier, Jungkook is currently sitting with his father in their living room. So, how long are you going to play around being a professor, Jungkook? I didn't become a professor to play around, Dad. I teach and take responsibility for my students. You speak well, but aren't you responsible for the future of our family business? What about the fate of our employees if you continue to be a professor? Why are you talking like that? You're still working there. But I want to retire, son. Don't you have any pity for me? Then hand over the CEO position to Lisa. No, the CEO position must still be you. Even if she graduates and works in our company, she'll work under you. You'll still be the CEO. Besides, someday she will marry her current boyfriend. She might work in her husband's company rather than ours. I won't force her. Let her make her own decision. Jungkook remains silent, repeatedly sighing softly. Fine, I'll think about it later. Don't take too long to think. You need to resign from your job now. How long do I have to keep working? Dad, you're only 50 years old and you want to retire? You're still fit to work for another 5 years. Do you really not have any sympathy for me? Huh? I want to enjoy my retirement by traveling and relaxing. Jungkook remained silent, deep in thought. He wasn't particularly interested in taking over his father's position in their company. Truth be told, he knew that being a CEO came with greater responsibilities and busyness compared to being a lecturer. But sometimes fate cannot be avoided. The problem was that his father only had one son, him. Whether he liked it or not, he would eventually become the successor and take over his father's position, sooner or later. While Jungkook himself wasn't fond of busyness, being a professor provided him with comfort as he had plenty of time. 3 days later, it was still afternoon when Yin returned home from campus and was now relaxing in her bedroom. Suddenly, she heard a knock on her bedroom door. She quickly got up from her bed and opened the door, revealing one of the maids standing outside. "You have a guest, miss. He's waiting downstairs." "Who is it?" "He said his name is Jungkook, miss." Upon hearing that name, Yin was immediately surprised. Without much thought, she went downstairs to meet the man. Yin had descended the stairs and saw Jungkook sitting calmly on the sofa waiting for her. Her heart was pounding. It was the first time she had seen Jungkook in casual attire. Usually, he was in his formal suit. This time, he looked younger. Yin finally sat down not far from him. Her eyes continued to gaze at him. This time, she couldn't divert her gaze from the man she admired. "What's up? Why did you come here?" "We're not on campus, Yin. Can you please not call me by that title?" "Alright. Why did you come here then? Can we go out? I want to talk about it outside." "Okay. Let me change first." Jungkook just nodded, giving a faint smile, while Yin stood up and walked back to her bedroom. Now they were both inside his car. The atmosphere in the car felt a bit awkward, but Yin remained silent, unwilling to initiate any conversation. Shortly after, his car pulled over to a quiet spot. "Yin, are you still angry with me?" "I'm not angry with you. Asking for time doesn't mean I'm angry. I just need time to think." "Alright. It's been 3 days. Do you need more time?" Yin didn't answer, although her heart wanted to scream and laugh. "I don't care about my status as your professor anymore. What I want now is to be your boyfriend as soon as possible. If this makes you uncomfortable, I'll resign tomorrow." "Why? Didn't I tell you before? My main income isn't from my salary as a lecturer. I'll still have money even if I'm not a lecturer." "You don't need to do that. I don't want to hinder your career as a lecturer. Alright, we can date now, even if it's secretly." "Does that mean you've accepted me?" Yin just nodded with a sweet smile. Jungkook was so happy that he immediately pulled her body close to him, embracing her tightly. "I love you. I love you too." Still in his embrace, he started kissing her forehead and head repeatedly. Yin smiled, enjoying his kisses. Finally, she lifted her head to look at him, while he looked down at her, and their eyes met. He smiled faintly before pressing his lips to hers, kissing her gently. She responded, and they kissed softly for several minutes before Jungkook pulled away. "I'm so happy you're mine now." After saying that, he resumed kissing her, but this time with more intensity. Yin reciprocated as much as she could, finally expressing their long-held feelings for each other. A few minutes later, Yin was still in his arms, and it seemed they were unwilling to separate. They still enjoyed the warmth of each other's embrace. Jungkook continuously caressed her head, while Yin kept her face buried on his chest comfortably. "Jungkook, are you really sure about our relationship?" "Yes, of course." "Aren't you afraid of losing your job?" "No, Yin. I don't want you to worry about that anymore. So stop thinking about it, okay? Just relax." "Alright, I trust you."